Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Kira and welcome to my little corner here on YouTube. I am obsessed with all things beauty. I don't know what I was doing. I'm just having fun. Anyways, I thought to do my top 10 eyeshadow palettes from my everyday eyeshadow palette collection because I actually just filmed my everyday eyeshadow palette collection a few hours ago. I had a couple things I had to do with my parents and my brother, but I've had this makeup on all day and I actually used my favorite eyeshadow palette. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to do my 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes from my everyday collection. So I really thought long and hard about this, and my favorite eyeshadow palette from my collection is my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar Mini Palette. It looks like this. It comes in this unit carton right here. I do keep the unit carton sometimes, but this is what the palette looks like. I did use this palette today to create this look. I used this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade, and I am going to do swatches. I feel like these palettes get swatched more than anything. It comes with 9 shades. It's, I believe, $28. And these are the first 3 shades. They're mattes. You have glucose. I use glucose all the time to set my lid. I didn't today. You can even use it as a matte brow bone highlight. The next shade is called Sugarcane. It is a matte, kind of like pink. I've actually used this as a set up to my eyelids too. And then this final shade from the top row is called Ouch. It's what I have in my crease. It is a brown matte. It is a good matte. It's so good. I love Jeffree's formula. Actually, I have a couple other Jeffree Star palettes that are my favorites, and you'll see them in this video. I feel gross. This is a bralette. I have a bra on underneath, so don't think I'm in just a bra. Alright, the next row is shimmers. So you have Candy Floss, Wisdom, which is the exclusive shade he added just for this palette, and Sweetener. Alright, so I'm going to get a little bit more of Wisdom. Yeah, there we go. I really want to show the prettiness of his shimmers. So this is Candy Floss. I've used this as an inner corner highlight. I have it as an inner corner highlight and a brow bone highlight. It's so pretty. Wisdom, like, that is so gorgeous. And then Sweetener is actually what I am wearing on my lids today. And that's so pretty. And then the final row is all mattes. Again, you have Prick, which is right here, Cherry Soda, and Coma. These are 8 shades from the Blood Sugar palette, and Wisdom is the only one that was not in the Blood Sugar palette. It's added exclusively for this palette. So this is Prick. It's a matte orangey red kind of color. Cherry Soda. It's a matte darker red. It's a very red palette. Blood Sugar is a red palette, so it's not surprising. And Coma. I put Coma on the outer corner. Coma can look patchy if you don't blend it out, as you saw, but this is the palette, so it goes from light to very red. It's just all around. It's my favorite palette. I love reaching for it. I really thought about this, and I did this after I swatched all of my everyday palettes, so I've had that fresh in my mind when I made this list. So my number 2 palette is the Dominique Cosmetics Unconditional Love palette. This is what the unicorn looks like. I do keep it. It's so gorgeous. For some reason, I want to say I paid like around $28 for this. This is a 6-pan. It's made by Kristen Dominique here on YouTube. She has a fantastic formula. Not this one. Anyways, so this is Love and Light. It is a shimmer I love to use. I'm going to just swatch it here. So pretty. The next one is called Warm Hearted. It is a matte pink. So pretty. Soul, I kind of feel doesn't really go in this palette. It's a shimmer though, and it's, honestly, I'm not going to lie, one I have not worked with. And then the final row, because this is only a 6-panner, is Corazon. It's kind of a coral matte, but it goes in the palette. It just goes. Eternal is a glitter. This is so gorgeous. This is the reason I wanted this palette. I have worn this all over my lid. Like,
what are you doing?
Beautiful. And then the final shade is Jaden, which is a matte purple, and it is named after her son, Jaden, which I just love. It's just so pretty. Okay, my number 3 palette is my Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette in Light. It's the light one. The unit carton looks like this. It's very pretty. And this is what the palette looks like. This retails for $59, and it has 5 eyeshadows, a cream blush, mine dried out, and a highlight.
What do you have?
I will swatch them both. So I'm going to swatch the blush and highlight first. You can actually see that the blush is dried out just from the swatch. But I love this palette because of the light tones. I actually picked this palette when I did my photo shoot with my sister a few weeks ago when I did my makeup, and I just love it. I love this palette. It has 3 mattes and 2 shimmers, and this is it completely on my fingers. So this is inner corner, transition, crease, outer corner, and smoke. This palette is just literally a one and done for me. I love it. It's so inspirational. I literally use it the way it's meant to be used. I literally put inner corner, outer corner, like, I love it. Oh, I feel like I'm going to piss some people off with this, but my number 4 favorite everyday palette is the Pat McGrath and Bridgerton palette. It's the Diamond of the First Water. So I actually do have the Belle of the Ball palette. I got it today. I haven't played with it yet, which is why it's not in this video. But this is such a gorgeous palette. I'm not even a fan of Bridgerton. I'm going to go ahead and swatch. So this is Iconic Ingenue? I don't know. It's just a light shimmer. Most palettes kind of have that typical light shimmer. Yes, hi my love. The next shade is called Art of the Swoon. I hope that they don't make another Bridgerton palette because it's gonna hurt my wallet. It's a matte, but it's kind of like it has a sheen to it. It's really pretty. The next shade is Regency Blue, and this is the shade that actually convinced me to buy this palette. So beautiful. So the next shade is called Plum Regalia. It is a matte. So pretty. I mean, Pat's palette. I used to think Pat was like my third. When it came to luxury brands, it was always Natasha Denona, Charlotte Tilbury, and Pat McGrath, but it's actually switched. And you'll actually see my Charlotte Tilbury palettes don't make it into my favorites because I feel like Charlotte Tilbury is very repetitive. Duchess Divinity is a shimmer. It's a darker shimmer. I haven't actually used this one because I always reach for Regency Blue. I need to force myself to use other palettes. And the last shade is called Love Match. It is another, I think it is more of a sheen. Yeah, it's more of a sheen than a matte. It's kind of like got a red kind of look to it. The packaging on this is so gorgeous. And also, I did get my Subliminal palette, and I added it to my everyday collection at the end of the month, which is in 3 days. But that's why it's not in this. But this is the Bridgerton palette. Okay, number 5 in my top 10 rankings is my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Minibreaker Palette. I talk about this all the time. I love this palette because it adds color to it, but at the same time, I feel like this could be my only palette, and I could have like one more palette, and this would be like, that would be a good collection for me. This retails for $28. I probably should have, I don't think I mentioned, the Pat McGrath one retails for $65. This retails for $28. It is still for sale on Jeffree's website, but I feel like you can go neutral. You got this little darken up color that's cool toned. You can go purples and pinks. This is just a good companion palette. So this is called Double Scoop. It is a matte kind of more yellow toned brown. So pretty. And I don't have anything like this in my collection. Kai, are you okay? Double Scoop, or Orange Crush. Sorry, Orange Crush is kind of a sequin color, but it's an orange and it's really pretty. Jeffree has a fantastic formula. I talk about it all the time. You might not like Jeffree as a person. I'm not really a fan of Jeffree as a person, but his formula and his makeup is stunning. The next shade is called Foreplay. It is just like a matte kind of plummy pink. It's a cool tone pink. It's so pretty. Jeffree, if I want to reach for color, I'm 9 times out of 10 going to reach for a Jeffree palette. This next shade is called Oral. I believe it's a duochrome. This is actually the reason I wanted this palette, because this is only in the Minibreaker palette, and it's got it's purple blue. It's so pretty. The next shade is Purple Punch. It's a matte dark purple. It looks like that. So pretty. So this is Slice. It is a shimmery kind of like gold. So pretty. So the next shade is Bubblegum. I actually have this in a single and I love it. It is a gorgeous pink, and I actually like that it's next to Foreplay so you can see the difference. Foreplay is more dark. It's more darker. It's more cool tone. That was a second coat. This is more pastel-y. Like I said, if I'm going to reach for color, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to reach for this palette. This next shade is called Bite Me. I believe this is also exclusively in this palette, but I could be wrong. It's just a shimmery purple. It's actually my favorite tones of purple. I love violet tones like this. And then the last shade of this is Hot Fudge. It's that cool toned matte brown I was talking about. It's just, this is such a gorgeous palette. This you might not think is a good palette, but it's so good. Okay, my number 6 palette is my Natasha Denona Star palette. This is what the unicorn looks like. This retails for $189. It's stupid expensive, I know, but it's honestly a perfect palette for a pro kit. It looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch it. I always start off swatching the warm tone side. Those are the first 3 shades. I think that people kind of get overwhelmed with this palette because it's a 9 pan of warmth and a 9 pan of cool tones, and they're put together to form a stupidly expensive palette. But I think that, again, it's perfect for a working makeup artist, because for me personally, if I'm going to do makeup on a client, I can reach for this palette and have an 18 pan palette that has 9 warm tones and 9 cool tones, and not really have to go in with 4 or 5 different palettes, because I kind of have pretty much everything I need in this 18 pan palette. Now this palette is stupid expensive, but it is Natasha Denona's amazing formula. And I think Sephora actually has it for $169, but for some reason I paid $189 for it. And I don't know why. And I did get this from the Natasha Denona website, I think. Maybe I got this from Sephora. I know for a fact I paid $189 for it, because I was like, what the hell? Now, this is the cool tone side. You can definitely see a difference in... Hi, is that Papa's? Why are you giving me that look? And it's just honestly the best palette for, in my opinion, a professional kit. I definitely don't see this palette leaving my collection anytime soon, like at least not within the next 5 years. Unless it becomes so completely used up that I have to get another one. Which is an investment in its own right. Okay, so my number 7 palette is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Weirdo palette. My collection just does not feel complete without this palette, which is why I put it in here. It is a 9-pan. It is $28. Of course, as Jeffree's minis are. It has 1 shimmer and 8 mattes in it. Again, I don't think that my collection is complete without these colors. I mean, Glamour Shot right there, perfect matte white. Razor Blade, that is a gorgeous metallic silver. Mohawk, perfect pink dusty matte. I think that a lot of people kind of are turned off by the fact that these 4 shades right here all seem very, very similar. I'm glad my camera is actually able to pick up the difference in these shades, so that makes it a little bit easier. Punk Couture is a slate kind of gray. Weirdo is obviously the matte black because it's named after the weirdo. Lipstick, Only Child is a kind of like maroon color. And he does have these as singles now, so you can actually pick and choose which one you want. But, I mean, I was looking at this when I was going through my everyday eyeshadow collection, trying to decide which one I'm going to declutter in the next couple of months. And I was like, I can't see my collection without this palette. And if I can't see my collection without this palette, then that means it has to be a favorite. I'm so inspired every time I grab this one out. Grab a little bit of this. So this is the Weirdo palette. Okay, number 8 is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette. It comes in this type of a packaging. This is what the actual palette looks like. So beautiful. And this is what the inside looks like. Again, so super gorgeous. It's definitely more of a pinky palette. It's more what I would go for. The shimmers in here are so gorgeous. The mattes are buttery. So this is the shade Rosewater. It's a very beautiful pink toned shimmer. Honey is a matte. This is the shade Sparkling Amber. I used this a few times. So gorgeous. This is the shade Primrose. It's a sequin shade. It's that matte with like glitter. It's a little powdery, as you can see. But you're going to see this palette does lean a little more pink toned. I really am into pink tones lately, which is why this palette skyrocketed so easily to my favorites. I mean, this is definitely in comparison with the Natasha Denona palette. This is the shade Mango. It's a matte. Peony is a shimmer. It's kind of like the flower. Here is Rogue, and here's Fire Opal. So gorgeous. I mean, these shimmers, like, I feel so bad wasting. I feel like I'm wasting these palettes by swatching them, but then, like, YouTube, my job, love it. You have to love it, at least. Alright, so this palette actually was featured in my palette bingo, if you watched that. If not, it was a lot of fun. And this was the shade I got. It's called Deep Berry. It's a matte. So pretty. This is Claret. This is Grapefruit. It's the blush. Don't like. And this is Saddle. It's the bronzer. Another thing I don't like. I don't like the blush and the bronzer that they chose for this palette, just because that blush is really light and that bronzer is really dark and orange. I just feel like if you wanted to kind of be inclusive to everybody, maybe what they should have done is made multiple tones of the Primrose palette and just kept maybe the eyeshadows and then changed the blush and the bronzer to fit specific skin tones, because this, I just, no. Oh my god, number 9 is going to be the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams palette. Oh my gosh, so this is probably really surprising to a lot of people, because I actually didn't like this palette when I first saw it. I wasn't going to get it. Then, like the true makeup addict I am, I was in store buying the Cookies and Dream collection for my YouTube channel, and I saw it in stores and I was like, well, it's there, so I might as well buy it and just declutter it later. But I got it, and I actually ended up falling in love with it. I mean, like, that blue is gorgeous. I fell in love with the Subliminal palette because of a blue like that. This palette is only $10, and it is such amazing quality. Yes, there are lip palettes. There are colors missing from this palette, and I'm not shy. Every time I talk about this palette, I say that there are colors missing from this. You need more browns, you need more matte browns in the crease to make blues like this work. And that is what my everyday palettes are in conjunction with my chocolates palette from Profusions Cosmetics. So I don't have an issue with that, which is why I like this. And this is just such a great story for me to tell, and I love it. I'm so incredibly pleased by the fact that I spent money on something that I didn't think I was going to like, that I ended up enjoying. Okay, so this got a little hard, but this is the 10th palette, and it is going to be my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam 2 palette. I have a special place in my heart for this palette because it was the first palette I purchased of 2022. It is so cute and so gorgeous, and I love the packaging. And I actually did have this in my palette bingo as well, and I will show you the shade. But anyways, it's definitely a lighter eye. It's definitely for a lighter eye. At least in my opinion. I gotta get the kids in a bathtub after this. But Incense is the color I got for my palette bingo. And Incense is right here. That was it.
Well, that's what you get.
Some really pretty shimmers.
Quit breaking it.
And a matte black. That black
Quit
could be better.
breaking it.
But anyways, that is it for my top 10 palettes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff. I take the kids in the bathtub. I might film some other videos tonight. I haven't decided. Maybe I'll take this makeup off and then redo my makeup when the kids are asleep and do some more videos. Have not decided yet. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Are you going to say bye-bye, Kai?
Bye-bye.
You say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.